Oh, this challenge was very simple to me because it was obvious from the get-go that there was no way I was going to be the last one standing. So it was pretty rough go at the beginning, so it was a little shaky for me. But once I got into the groove, I knew I could stand there quite a bit longer than I did. But I underestimated what the reward just for staying there a bit would have been. So from that perspective, that's the only thing that I did wrong with this one because there was no way I was going to win that. And there's no sense just trying to stand there, out in the sun and do all that stuff. It's just not the risk for the reward is just not there. And I didn't feel vulnerable. I had no feeling of vulnerability in it. Pretty confident that the guys we have made our mind up before we went there what we were going to do. So I wasn't vulnerable, um, and there was no reason to hang in there. The girls taking their clothes off to me was kind of predictable. It was fun that they did it. I mean, they went for the cookies and the peanut butter, and from their perspective, I think it was a wise thing to do, and it was a great show for everybody. I mean, all the guys looked except for Butch, and I'll admit, as old as I am, I still looked. I mean, what the hell? Uh, uh, didn't get any food out of it. At least I got a little look. So. So that's going to have to placate me for the next day or two. Both Christy and Dina hung in there because they both knew that one of them was going to be going tonight. And I did, in all honesty, I was hoping it was Christy that stood in there and stayed in there. And I'm quite frankly, I'm a little upset that she actually got conned into it from Dina. And I don't, I it wasn't really too nice on Dina's part, but she's here to win, and she understood fully she needed that immunity. And so I think in the end, she convinced Dina convinced Christy to share in the food. I mean, it just made no sense. Well, why are you going to share in the food and get immunity at the same time? I mean, that's the best of both worlds, and you'd have to be, you know, not very smart to do that. And I guess Christy wasn't. The net effect on this is not going to change the guys, our vote. Our vote was going to be Christie, and it's not going to change it. If it wasn't, if Christie had immunity, we were going to vote Dina out. So as soon as we got back, immediately you could see that the guys were scurrying about to get the fire going, getting all that going, and immediately noticed that the girls got together. So apparently the girls haven't gotten together before. And I've always said that they had gotten together and they were clearly going to vote me off or attempt to vote me off. And I still think it's going that way. On the on the on what we were watching after the guys got off, I think it was Alex had a conversation, and I told him, I said, well, they're going to vote me off. He said, no, they're not. And I didn't ask him how he knew otherwise, but when we got back here, they quickly got together and made their decision, whatever that be, and we'll find out in tribal council. But the guys, we had already made that decision, so we don't need to even discuss it any further.